Welcome to the Brady Bunch of Autism, your source for family, parenting, and all things special needs. Created by our family for your family. Live from the Ed Asner Family Center. And now, your hosts, Navah and Matt Asner. Yeah.
Welcome to another Brady Bunch of Autism.
New theme song.
Yeah. Matt was
Great
fighting for his chance to have the theme song. So we have to take turns. That's fair.
Right. But music is great too.
No, I'm kidding.
No, welcome to the Brady Bunch of Autism. I'm Matt Asner.
And I'm Navah Pasquitz-Asner.
And that's the way it is.
That's the way it'll stay.
And we're here on Tuesday. Lots is going on, as usual.
Well, today's show is going to be a little different because usually we have our mental health director, Chrisa on Thursdays. But today, Chris is going to join us because we're doing the Ed Talks on Thursdays.
We are, and we got a really cool Ed Talks this Thursday. This Thursday at 5 o'clock Pacific time, we have the cast and the producer.
The creator.
As we see it.
Yeah.
And they're all going to come and join us, and we're going to talk about this amazing show on Amazon. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely check it out. If you have anything to do with autism, you should check it out. But you should just check it out because it's a great show. And I can't recommend it enough. It's really special. And so we're going to be joined by the three actors who are playing autistic people who actually are autistic people, and Joe Montaigne and Jason Katims. They're all going to join us.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
And the only reason I'm not saying their names is because I can't. My memory's not that good. But should I try and say them? I'm going to actually try.
You mean their character names?
No, they're actual actor names. They're who they are as people, as actors.
What do you mean?
So I'm going to say their names. So I'm going to say their names, and if I get them wrong, it's because I tried. Just remember that. Albert Rutecki, Sue Ann Pine, and Rick Glassman. Those are the three actors that are going to join us.
You got it right.
Hey, all right. There we go.
And Chris Pang, who is great. He's actually one of my favorite. He plays Violet's brother.
No, he's not joining us.
No, I know, but I'm just saying he's one of my favorites.
You're going to get Jill Hart all excited.
I know. I'm so sorry that Chris isn't joining us because he had it was very realistic portrayal of sometimes, so many times, either a sibling or a grandparent becomes the caregiver of their sibling.
Very intelligently done, very well handled, and we really can't recommend it enough. So they're going to join us on Thursday for Ed Talks. And the entire hour is going to be talking with them about this amazing show. So we hope you'll join us for Ed Talks. You hear how hoarse my voice is?
I know, it's crazy.
Really unbelievable.
The joys of post-COVID life, the joys of it. We're also going to be joined by our social director and co-curriculum creator. That's a tongue twister. Co-curriculum creator, Chelsea Darnell, who is going to give us an actual autistic kind of point of view of what she thought of As We See It, which I think is very important. And we welcome that. Let's bring our first guest on because we have a shorter show today. And I really want to talk to our next guest. One of the things that's really been missing in the center is physical fitness. And I'm so excited. It's taken me a long time. And we finally are going to be starting with Zooz Fitness. And let's welcome Jake Weiner, who is the creator and originator of Zooz Fitness. Welcome, Jake.
Hello. Thank you so much. What's going on?
Well, we're doing well. And, I got to say, seeing you, I really feel guilty because I haven't exercised yet today. And
no, there's always a chance. And I actually came to do a couple burpees with you guys today.
Okay.
Hopefully you're ready.
Do you know what a burpee is?
I do burpees all the time. That's why I take Tums. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
That was a bad joke. Sorry.
Oh man.
So how did we come up with the name Zooz though? That's what
it's an Israeli. It's Hebrew.
It's in Hebrew and it means move. So how fitting for a movement company. It's also just a fun word to say, Zooz.
I love it.
And there's a long story, but that's really the crux of it. Is it's an Israeli word that means move.
Well, see,
And
you
Eddie
learn
likes that
something new every day.
he thinks it's like multiple zoos, like the zoo,
Oh,
LA Zoo.
plural.
Yeah,
zoos.
he's like, oh, are there animals?
You know, it's
there
funny you say that,
moose?
Nava, because whenever I say like, "Hey, I'm Jake. I'm from Zooz Fitness," I really try to enunciate the zoos.
Zoo.
And they're like, "Oh my God, zoo fitness! Like you work with animals, like super cool." Like, not exactly. There's another Z at the end, but that's I get that a lot.
So this is okay. So physical fitness. This is a big problem in life that we face. We don't have time. We don't have enough. And it's something that is difficult for the average person to navigate. For any person to navigate, really, to make sure that there's time to exercise. The other thing is, so when someone's on the spectrum, it becomes even more difficult. So how do we motivate our kids to work out and to make it a statement, to do it all the time?
Yeah, so that definitely is the number one question we get, and I think sometimes the most challenging piece. How do we get them motivated and then stay motivated? The maintenance piece, right? So I think there's a couple of things that we like to do at Zooz Fitness. The big thing is create an opportunity. Oftentimes, folks with disabilities don't get the opportunity to exercise, and that means there might not be an accessible gym. If there's someone who is a wheelchair user, someone who might have a physical disability, the accessibility of it might not be able to access. But also, for a lot of our athletes or individuals on the autism spectrum where they might have stereotypical movements or sounds or things that might look a little different, those are often frowned upon. And not, if you're at a typical gym, you might get looks, you might get a trainer who doesn't know what to do with that.
Right.
There's a lot of these, sensory needs and inaccessible spaces where these individuals are not given the opportunity. So the first step is motivating, is give them the opportunity, right? And that means an accessible space, both physically and a welcoming space that's inviting. And then I think there's another big piece that you got to make exercise fun. Exercise, Matt, what you said, like, exercise doesn't elicit a lot of excitement. Oh, I didn't do exercise today. Like, I know I need to. We hear this time and time again because exercise for a lot of people doesn't elicit this level of excitement like someone like me. I enjoy doing crazy workouts. I enjoy sweating in this, but that's not the norm. So what we need to do is make it fun. And how do we do that? Obstacle course training and adding colors in and adding different movement patterns that are disguised as exercise. So we have a lot of really cool equipment here at the gym and a lot of unique ways of moving our body with colors or balance on like a BOSU or an unstable surface. So, when you make it fun and when you create opportunity, oftentimes the motivation follows, and another big piece is the social component. When you are in a class or a semi-private session or in a gym with other like-minded people, that automatically heightens your sense of, oh, this is like fun. This is something I can keep doing.
Yeah.
I see my friends when I'm training. So and there's a lot of, those are really like the big three things that we like to discuss with motivation, and with exercise, it's about habit development. So if you make it a habitual thing, it's not about willpower or someone is stronger than me or this, it's about creating good habits. And with those good habits come the motivation to want to keep doing it because you see results, you feel good, you look good, you have energy. That's what creates the motivation, really, if you think about it.
I'm going to bring our director of mental health in because this all goes together seamlessly, doesn't it?
Hand in hand, absolutely.
So let's bring Chrisa in, and Chrisa, do you have a?
Hey, Chrisa.
Comment?
Hi. I love it sounds so much fun the way you're describing everything. And I've been to your studio. It's so lively, and there's lots of activities in different stations where you can do workouts. So you keep it lively. One of the things that I was thinking about as you were talking was, as you're getting into these patterns, you start to retrain your brain as well, and you start to get that endorphin rush or that serotonin rush, the happy chemicals. And then you start to go, hey, maybe that felt really good. I want to do it again. I know personally, I start to crave the workout, and that becomes something that I want to do again and again and again, because I'm having fun, I'm feeling good, and my brain is happy.
And
Right.
I think
Go ahead, Navah.
Jake, Matt and I have 3 autistic sons, and all 3 of them are, they struggle with, like so many kids in our community and so many of your clients. These are kids who really, a lot of times have regressed or really fallen back from their regular schedule due to COVID. And our youngest, he gained quite a bit of weight during COVID. He's more sedentary, but he loves to exercise. So I think one of the main things is just to get them to start, because so many of the other experiences I know that so many families have talked to me about, and you mentioned it, is in a typical gym, there's so many overwhelming sensory issues, the lights, the noise, the stairs, whatever,
People
that they go in once and they never come back again. And so our older son Wolfie is just went and he checked everything out, and he's a kid who needs very low support, but he is very socially anxiety fueled. And so the fact that he went to Zooz on a specific day where he could have a very calm, kind of like Zen experience, I think that's really important. I think that's really important that they have kind of tailored the gym for their community. But also the most important factor that we talked about is that you've made workouts fun. And that's what we're doing here. So what we're going to be doing is Jake's going to bring a version of Zooz into the center. And every week they're going to be doing something different. They're going to be working on different aspects of physical fitness and really confidence, don't you think?
100% confidence, self-esteem, empowerment. I mean, that's a big piece that fitness, I think, ties hand in hand. And Chrisa, I know you can talk to this too, that when you start to move, you feel better, you look better, you get some muscles, you lose a little weight, like all these things tie into, I feel better, so I want to be more social. I want to do more in the community. Yeah.
My dad used to call it vim and vigor. He was like the world's oldest fitness guy. And he always talked about that you have to have vim and vigor in your life, no matter how old you are. And for me, it's swimming. I don't like doing like indoor stuff, but I swim every day. And that just brings me back to life.
Yeah. Love it.
If you guys are interested in what we're talking about, which is Zooz Fitness at the Ed Asner Family Center, you can reach out to Blanca, BLANCA, at teafc.org. And Blanca will help you sign up for Zooz Fitness, which is going to be every Thursday. And I have to check again. I believe it starts at 5:30. Do you remember, Jake?
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right.
Every Thursday from 5:30 to 6:30. And you reach out to Blanca at teafc.org. And, how long have you been doing this? I remember I met Jake
a long time,
years ago at
yeah.
one of Dina Kimmel's events, which actually we're going to all be doing again soon in April.
It'll be coming up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this for, it's always hard to tell because it was very part-time when I first started, and it was like very grassroots. I had my car with some equipment, but 8 to 10 years, I've been doing some form of Zooz Fitness. And here at our gym in Encino, we're going into our 3rd year here.
Awesome.
Incredible.
And as you guys were describing, how to get people motivated, I think like even in COVID or, episodes of depression or anxiety, one of the things as a mental health wellness clinician is I want to get people moving. And I think that's important. Like you had just said, even if people had a bad meeting and they want to walk in their neighborhood just to take a 10-minute walk to clear their mind. So if you have young people that might be, having a difficult day or overloaded with sensory, sometimes if you redirect them to get outside, let's go take a walk, let's walk around the block, you can refocus them because you're really breathing fresh air, you're slowing down your heart rate. So, exercise comes in many different forms too. Just a quick walk around the block or an intensive 40-minute exercise or 30 minutes can really change your brain.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And you know, this is what we preach, because whenever anyone says like, oh, I can't do a 45-minute class, like, okay, you can walk, you can do your laundry, you can mow the lawn, you can take your dog out. Like, exercise, movement has so many meanings. And this is what's often lost. If I don't hit the gym, if I don't do a HIIT session, if I don't swim, if I don't do a bike, like all these conventional forms of fitness are great, but there's so many of these other ones with just a simple walk is really important. So yeah, that's awesome that you brought that up.
Sorry.
Nava's quacking.
No,
somebody wants to exercise, I think, Nava.
You have to know.
See, they're already calling. They're already
hooked.
Wolfie really knows exactly when we're live. Every time we're live, it's Wolfie calling.
They're already calling. So, so when does this start? This starts on Thursday?
It starts on Thursday, the 17th, and it's from 5:30 to 6:30. And again, if anybody is interested, they can reach out to Blanca at teafc.org. And we're very excited, Jake, to see you in the center and to get going on physical fitness here at the center, because we've really missed this aspect of having this component here.
It is really so necessary, guys. You know, and we're always talking about the center being wholeness and wellness, and you know, this is something you can do with your siblings or your family as well, and you know, everybody needs it.
Right, Matt?
Right.
Couldn't agree more.
I'll tell you something. You know, it's interesting because I'm not like a big workout guy. I don't enjoy it. It's just not fun for me. But there is certain types of things that I like doing. And so it's important for me to do those things in order to work out. But the best thing I ever did was when I played hockey. That was the greatest thing in the world. It was the best workout. And I didn't even know I was working out. So I think that's the issue. So you got to find something where it doesn't feel like you're working out.
And something that your wife will let you do without breaking your leg.
No, Matt, you nailed it, because this is the opportunity piece. When you're given the opportunity, and that can mean anything. Like this is what I tell parents, like find something that they love that's physically active in some capacity. Yeah. Sports or movement or dance, or like there are such a plethora of things that involve movement. Actually, right? Not exercise. They call it movement.
No, dance is a great example, because dance you can dance and you don't even know that you're working out. It's just fun, and it's you're connected to movement and your body and the music and where it's taking you. It's not necessarily, you're not thinking, oh, I'm out of breath now and I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Right.
You're feeling it. And that's what's important. And that's why if you put someone on a treadmill and say run, and then you put someone with music on and have them dance, I'll bet the person with who's dancing can last longer than the person on the treadmill.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely. Unless you're crazy like me. I'd pick
right. Unless you do it every day.
But that's the great thing about Zooz is you find the things that kind of motivate and you use them, right?
For sure.
So there we go.
And also, I mean, just to tie in the mental health piece, I just read a study that people as clinicians are starting to prescribe mental health, like mindfulness, which is a way to kind of heal internally and to bring about calm. But also, it's not crazy these days to hear a therapist say you need to factor in exercise to reduce anxiety and depression, because that is also, it's mind, body, spirit. And I totally believe in exercise, and healthy well-being is another layer of good mental wellness, and not only talking therapy, but also physical.
It's the hardest thing to get our kids to do this, though. We are in a community where there's
but you have to do it with them.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I'll tell you, I love to swim, but our pool is not heated all the time. And Eddie, no matter how cold, it can be 40 degrees, our pool. Actually last weekend, it really was 40 degrees. He will swim with no wetsuit on. I was wearing 3 wetsuits, and he will swim for an hour. And I know that this might be the only workout Eddie's going to get that day. So I will put 3 wetsuits on and I will swim with him for an hour. And because I know that this is what he loves. He is a fish. He can swim all day, every day, but he lives a very sedentary life. And that was one of the things I felt that was the hardest about COVID, about the online learning rather, is that you have these
sitting all day.
Sometimes their only opportunity is going to school and doing PE. And these are kids who literally would sit in front of the screen all day long, and the behaviors in our community, the behaviors would ramp up because of, you know, a lot of kids like Eddie and I, we have ADHD. So it's like sitting for lengths of time is physically impossible for us. And yet we're forced to do it with no outlet of you know, a physical outlet to break up the monotony. And so I think, you know, now that kids are getting back into the schedule and everything, it's so important. It's so important that they're able to have opportunities like Zooz. So before we say goodbye to Jake, let's put, just in case Thursday doesn't work for you, let's put the Zooz. Zooz is zooz.com.
Zoozfitness.com.
Zoozfitness.com.
ZOOZ Fitness, yeah.
Just in case Thursdays don't work out for you after school, reach out to Jake or Jordan and Shahar, and just let them know, because, you know, not only do they do these wonderful group social component classes, they also have an amazing one-on-one class, which I think a lot of our teens and adults prefer. And, you know, there's something for everyone at Zooz Fitness. And Jake, I'm so excited to have you, and we'll see you next Thursday.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me on. This is a long time coming, and super duper excited to get
Looking forward to it. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Cool. Thanks so much for having me. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, I have a question for you guys.
All right.
Could, you know, our families can come and work out together as well, right? So
Absolutely.
It's not just drop your kid off and leave.
Yeah,
No, especially for this particular class and some of our other classes, we have a wonderful class. I wanted to talk a little bit about before we left is we have an amazing program that was underwritten through a generous grant called the Circus Arts program. And Circus Arts is a free class. It's an incredible class. It's not like only juggling. It's really it has a lot of improv components to it, and it teaches a lot of also self-confidence and things like that. But it's a free class at the center. It's also starting on Thursday, so it's going to be our class right before Zooz Fitness. We also have our choir starting up again tomorrow.
And there's a lot of improv in that class.
In choir?
In the Circus Arts.
Yes, I said that.
Okay.
But all of our classes, whether they're in person or virtually, you can find out more information at www.teafc.org. And if you'd like to sign up for Zooz Fitness, you can reach out to Blanca at teafc.org.
That's great.
Thanks.
You did so well. So, Chrisa.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
So, we have a little bit of time left. So, we're still in this situation, of course, Ukraine. And it's interesting. I read. I
don't know if I'd call it a situation.
Well, I would call it a situation.
I think it's
a big situation. But no, I was reading this incredible post by. Do you remember the band Alphaville?
Oh, from the 80s?
Yeah.
Or 90s? Yeah.
They did a song
Are they
called Forever
European?
Young.
I love that
Big
song.
in Japan. So they wrote this incredible post, and they're German, and they were talking about how this main guy, I can't remember, I don't know his name, I apologize, but he was speaking for the band, and he was saying that they feel terrible because they can only offer prayers right now. They can only offer a certain, their country's giving them whatever they can give them, but that's all. That's all that they can give them. And he eloquently put this into perspective, and he eloquently said that he feels shame because he can't offer more, and that he knows that how frustrating that probably is for the Ukrainians. In hearing the West say, "Oh, we offer prayers," or "We offer," and so he said, "I feel shame because I can't give more, and I stand here and I'm saying that prayers." And I don't know what that is. Oh, Martin Gold. Thank you. That's right. His name is Martin Gold. Steve, our intrepid producer, is giving me his name. His name is Martin Gold. And but he very eloquently stated what I was feeling.
Yeah, I think
What
so
I'm
many.
feeling.
Right. He's
Because
a very
many people
passionate. That's a
feel
very
that way.
passionate very passionate response.
Yeah, because we can't go off and fight
correct.
this war.
Yes.
It's not something that's,
it's the same
it's not
thing.
something that's going to help.
And, sometimes we talk about insomnia and how we shouldn't pick up our phone. And sorry to say that I broke that rule. And at 3 a.m, I tend to scroll through the news because it's already day in that part of the world. And I start to read the news, and I, feel similarly that thoughts and prayers just aren't going to work here. It means that, we have a compassionate place in our heart. We feel connected to that, but it's really not going to help. So I tend to donate. So I've donated twice. And I find there's different organizations that they appear to be pretty solid. They say that the help is going to be immediate. It's not just something that's going to go into a fund. So I've donated twice already to 2 different things. One is to provide mental health services to people with trauma that are in the trauma, but these services are for counselors in Poland or other countries that are accepting the refugees. And so, and if I could, I would offer support, but our board here in California is very different. I'm not allowed to practice outside of California, but, I do have skills. So there's a big question mark with licensed individuals, like can they offer immediate support via Zoom or something like that in other countries, which the world wants to do. We all want to help. So
that can happen if you're in another.
Well, my licensing board says I can only practice.
No, I know yours does.
Yeah. Well, we're looking into it. I'm reading a lot of the group boards and postings about what we can do, what we can offer.
Even if you're just volunteering to talk to
certainly as an individual, life coach or something, I could talk to somebody. So I'm thinking of signing up for that. But there's other organizations that are providing, food or support. So that's one little way. It doesn't necessarily, the shame, that you were talking about from the singer. What did it feel like for you when you're saying that there's this shame?
I think he was tying it to Germany and how the Germans had seen kind of a similar uprising and
he was making
nothing.
He was making comparisons to 1938.
Right. And that they, he mentioned, we talk about never again, and yet
feeling helpless.
This is actually happening. I think for me, the fact that we're seeing it in real time and these images that are beyond belief, and we're seeing this and really it's like no other situation, no other there is war in Middle East, and we see horrible images from Middle East as well, but this, seeing the children, especially and the elderly, for me, getting on the train, and some people do get on it's an incredibly impactful image, especially for people who are connected to the Holocaust and things like that. And yesterday it was especially graphic, and you get to a point where it's like it's almost too much. It's almost too much and so you have to turn it off.
Well,
it doesn't mean we're not helping. I donate to the Chabad almost every day,
but you also watch the news. I mean, I
watch it because
turn it off.
I want to know, like you say, I want to know what's happening. I want to the whole last week with the nuclear power station, that was terrifying. But like Zelensky said somewhere, like, we don't need more memes. We need help. We need actual help.
Yes.
And everyone putting all their pray for Ukraine and all that stuff. It's donate to the Jewish Federation. They were getting these kids out. They were getting them, orphanages and children's homes.
World Kitchen.
All of the children's homes. World Kitchen. I love that organization. Whatever organization, even the Airbnb kind of phenomenon that people were doing.
Mm-hmm.
This makes us feel like we've done a little bit, and we're not going to give up our lives and jobs and get on a plane to Krakow.
But that's what I think Matt and Martin's talking about, is that they feel like their hands are tied.
Yeah.
There's a sense of hopelessness here or despair because we're dealing with such a bully that has been threatening such intense consequences, and that I don't know, our government or people feel like, God, if we do one wrong move, is that World War III? And I've been reading a lot of the posts, and people are seriously afraid. And so that's the part where,
and that's what makes this different.
It makes it so different because, we would be helping out more. But apparently, Putin looks at that as an act of war, or that if we talk about supplying, sanctions are an act of war. So like he's pulling everything out to claim that they're all aggressive acts of war, which is just ridiculous. But the shame piece, yes. How can we watch this on Instagram and be at home in our couch in our cozy bed with our TV and, and not have it affect us? It's affecting us emotionally, but physically we're still safe where these people are not. And we feel very connected to them. So that's probably the shame piece. What can I do here?
Yeah.
But then the people in Europe, like Poland, Slovenia, all the other countries on the border are really present and doing as much as they can. And people are starting to go there and help. We've been hearing stories all over the place.
No, and it continues. And I'm sure next week we'll probably talk about this too. So stay safe, everyone. I think that's all the time we have. Stay safe, everyone. And we will see you Thursday for, we're not going to have a Brady Bunch of Autism on Thursday. We're going to have an Ed Talk on Thursday with As We See It, the cast of As We See It, and the producer of As We See It. And we will see you on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And until then, keep your seatbelts fastened.
Keep praying for Croatia. Yeah. Don't listen to Chrisa.
Croatia.
Exactly.
Okay.
Ukraine. That's a perfect way to end. I haven't slept.
We'll see you on Thursday.
Pray for Croatia too.
Yeah, pray for everyone.
Yes. Prayers work.
We'll see you on Thursday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.